Hey guys, welcome to episode 5 of AJ's Game Design, which is another Street Fighter Kickstarter update, the first one for 2020 and January's update. So as you can see here, brand new camera, we're using UHD in 60 frames. Whoa! Whoa, hopefully it's working. Yeah. Hopefully that'll get you more detail on the Mini. So, last we spoke, we did a longer video where I was telling you while Capcom were doing all the approvals of the hundreds of pieces of artwork that we have sent them, and they're nearly done. I'll tell you about that in a second. I was improving the Minis. Well, the Minis have arrived. These are the final Minis. Joe, check them out. Zoom in here. Do what you need to do because these are the final Minis that just came in. These final production Minis that came from our manufacturer with all of the improvements, all of the color improvements, the face improvements, the special effects improvements, the model improvements have to be sent to Japan. So this was nerve-wracking, right? Because it's like, not only do I got to send a set to Capcom US, I got to send a set to Capcom Japan, and Japan's got to like them. Well, Japan loved them, right? So there's only 3 models they wanted some small tweaks on. Those models are Ken, I think they said his eye color was a little off.
Yeah,
Don-chan
in particular.
Ibuki with Don-chan, they wanted his raccoon eyes a little darker, and Q, they wanted a brown wash instead of a gray wash on his jacket. So I'll show you pictures. Hopefully I was showing you pictures of that right now, because those are the only 3 changes that we're making to these final models here. And you even got the fancy little Capcom cup that you can drink from after you beat your friends, beat their asses in our game. So, in our last video, so I'll give you a general production update. Joe, it's 2020. When am I getting my game? Good news. You're getting your game this year. There's been a lot of game delays this year and last year, but we want to make sure that our game is perfect when it comes out to you. So let me go through this. So like I said, we sent all these minis to Japan over the holidays. They've approved them. And they wanted us to change 3. We've already made those changes. So where are we now? Well, we've hit the Chinese New Year. That's when things kind of slow down in our manufacturing process. But, and that's the end of January and about the middle of February. And then is when people start coming back. And then end of February is when they're in full force. So when our manufacturer comes back and towards the end of February from the new year, we'll go into production for our full game. Not just the core set. Not just the boss expansions. No, everything is getting produced because we have all the finals. By then, Capcom will be through group 11, 12, 13, because we've been sending the art, and that's what's been taking the most time. They'll have that done by then, and we will have everything produced at once as soon as our manufacturer returns from the new year and celebrating the new year. That will mean that you guys are going to get your games this year. So I did the estimation, but I'm going to tack on a little bit of extra time because, as we've seen, there's been unforeseen delays. So I would estimate about 4 or 5 months, 5 months after the Chinese New Year, after they return from the Chinese New Year, to be safe. It could be sooner, but I want to set your expectations. I want to be completely safe. It is probably going to be sooner, but let me just say that so I can kind of give you guys a general idea of when you're going to get your hands. 2020 is the year of the Angry Joe board games that will come out and Street Fighter. So next up, we got the Boss Rulebook done for you. So in our last video, we released the core rule set with approval from Capcom. Now we've got the Boss Rulebook. And the Boss Rulebook, actually, we took your previous feedback and implemented it in both versions of our rulebooks, the core and the Boss. So definitely check that out. And thank you guys for going through it and checking it out. Another thing is, just so you know, Joe, have you learned from these delays? Have you learned from your first board game process?
Yeah.
Yes. Going forward, we've learned a lot. Apparently our camera can only do 5 minutes at a time. I'll figure that out later in HD and 60 frames. But I just want to know, going forward, we have learned a lot in this process, with approvals and how long that actually takes and stuff like that. So we are implementing all of that feedback and what we've learned into our next project, so that this delay doesn't happen again.
Yeah, for the next project, we are already through the bulk of the approvals.
We are heavy in approvals, right? Whereas we weren't in approvals before, and then we started approvals, and that's what took so long. And then also we're overloading our licensor with stuff. We're already in the middle of that. In fact, we'll probably be almost through approvals around the same time this game ships out to you. This first project.
Yeah, we want to be print ready. The second the Kickstarter ends, we hit the button and then everything gets...
Our next project, as close to print ready as possible, so that there is not a year delay between, hey, it says when I'm getting my Kickstarter and I wait a year. No, we want you guys to get your game as soon as possible. So we've learned everything. This is my first game, my first board game, but I wanted to blow it out of the water and put all the love and attention to detail that I try to, expect from other developers to put into their games, and I put it into our games here. So, which means that our next project will be essentially print ready and through approvals. Okay, so the final thing that you guys have been asking for recently in the comments is more gameplay videos and character breakdowns to kind of show how your product plays, right? And I'll produce a bunch more of these in February and March when I have the final proofs. So I just actually got the terrain, so we'll have to open up the terrain here in just a moment for you. And then so that we get all the production samples, that final proof box, and we can start playing with all that. That way everybody can see exactly how it looks and plays without little caveats like this is going to change and don't look at this. And, I want to be able to share that video and just signal boost it across so that that's what you see, that's what you get. So that's pretty much the update, the Kickstarter update. For you hardcore ones who want to see the individual improvements miniature by miniature, we're going to do that now. I'll open up the terrain, assemble some of the terrain for you guys. But for the rest of you, thank you guys so much and your patience for waiting for this game. It is going to be fucking amazing. We've been playing it a lot lately, and I'm so proud of it. And once it hits the streets, it's going to blow up even bigger. And I can't wait to have you guys pick up a copy if you haven't picked it up already. So 2020 is going to be awesome, guys. All right, so let's go into the next section now. Hey guys, so here's the direct comparison video. Come on, zoom on in. So last one we talked to the last Dan. We said that his Hadoken was drooping. So as you can see, we have improved that process.
And we got some eyebrows. New eyebrows on there.
New eyebrows. Laura's face was terrible. Now her pose is, obviously your miniatures will be packed nicely so they won't melt or bend. But as you can see, Laura's face has been improved. I'm not sure how well Joe can zoom in on that with our great detail. But not only that, we have also improved the color of her special effect lightning. So face improved.
Yeah, the face looks great now.
Okay, and Q, you can see we've improved his special effect color. We've added the newspaper print. We've added shading.
Yeah, new shading to the jacket, but this is the shading will actually be brown in the final release. So that you can hear
the shading's a little gray. It needs to be a little brown. Okay, so that has improved. Alex has metallic cans that we've added there. We've added metallic cans there, and we've improved Alex's face. Okay, that's Alex. Last we spoke, next we were talking about... Are you getting these good, Joe? I'm not sure.
Yep.
Okay, we had Bison Cammy. Now, Bison Cammy had some errors with her uniformity on the colors on her arms. You can see that her right arm was not colored correctly. We got that fixed on her arms here, and we improved the color of the Psycho Power to give it more of a video game accurate color to it. Okay, we've improved also her face to get more eye detail on there, and we made those same improvements, face detail and line coloring on the normal cami in addition to bison cami. I think if you touch on the screen, it auto zooms. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I have to touch it to focus on it.
All right. Okay. Next up is Honda. Now remember, we had this smoky version of Honda, and I think we all agreed that we could improve on that. And so we gave it that clear effect, so it actually looks like, you know, he's hitting through the air. This one's a really, really good improvement. Also, if you look up Honda's, you know, skirt here, I don't know if you can manage to do that. We've given him some great diapers, some great.
Yeah, he's not free balling anymore.
He's not free balling. There you go. One of the greatest improvements is to Guy. Guy had this awkward sort of orange effect to it. It's not fire, and it's not actually orange on the move when he does it. It's just air, and so we've improved that and given it this air effect look to it. And so it sort of emphasizes Guy in the center, and that has been improved. Okay, so we've also improved Karen here. As you can see, she previously had this like ice cream bomb, you know, bomb pop effect. Her skin color was off. Even her base didn't have the right amount of contrast. Here, her base pops. The effect is more uniform. Pop, skin color better. Karen has been much improved. Face improvements as well. Joe, if you want to zoom in on that, and blame Joe if he's not doing a good job. I'm going to check later, and I'm going to beat him up.
Oh, you can definitely tell.
Okay. Nakali, we went ahead and made some improvements to his fire effect.
And his eyes.
The contrast on his base, his eyes, various other improvements. If you can swing him around if you need to see the difference. Okay, guys, we had to cut the camera. Joe, yell at Joe. Here's Goken, who has gotten the best upgrade. This is Boss Goken. We wanted to make sure he looks a little more impressive. He looks a little bare, but now we gave him his own special, unique effect, just like the rest of the bosses in the game. We've improved his skin color there.
Yeah, it looked like he'd been fake baking for a little while.
Yeah, maybe it was a little Brazilian vacation he was on here, but now we've got Master Mode, Boss Mode Goken. This is the one you're going to get. In cost to us, no cost to you, but badassery to you guys. I love improving these models. Okay, so the next big improvement is Evil Ryu. I was like, no, man, we got to really impress them with his evil heart. Joe, if you could zoom in on his evil heart. Originally, we only had a 1-tone. I said, let's go 3-tone. I don't care. Give me more paint operations. Jack up that price. Here you go. Boom. And check out the back. And it's just way more impressive, more true to the character. In addition, we've deepened the blues on his special effect and really made the fire pop a little bit more. You got lushness to the fire, whatever the hell that means. You can see that a little better here in Akuma, whose skin tone has improved. Yeah, I'm sorry. And again, the special effect colors have been improved.
Yeah, just deepened all around.
Now,
you can see
I don't know if you can see it on the camera. You're going to see all this stuff in person. They look amazing in person. And we have, you know, kind of crappy lighting over here. But trust me when I say this, that these have definitely improved quite a bit. And so there you see some of the deeper, more video game accurate colors on this newer Goken. Okay, another more accurate colors is going to be evil or violent Ken. Now, violent Ken is supposed to have psycho power. So we wanted to match the psycho power that's coming from Bison and taking inspiration from Bison to improve that color. And so now Ken has been improved with that psycho color there. And we've made shading improvements to him as well. So, all right. There's Evil Ken. One of the best improvements has been our Guile. Joe, if you can see, we'll play. This Guile was...
It was a template face. It wasn't one that we submitted. but they just put a template face in there and it was hilarious.
I said absolutely not. They're like, go to production if you want this. That. No, we're not going to production with this. I'm gonna make improvements to the face. So yeah, you got a little guile theme there. I wanted to spice him up a bit, add a logo to his base, give him something a little bit more loving to him. Even though this guile, nobody can ever sneak up on him.
No.
So this is a special version of guile I will be using if you fight me. Now I'm not very good on one-on-one.
Yeah,
When you're right in front of me, I won't be very good.
yeah,
But this is
multiplayer
the
you can
guile.
see completely around him.
This is the guile you're getting. You're seeing not only are you getting shading improvements, you're getting special effect color improvements. You're getting the eye color, eyes and derpy guile. Shanik, boom! And there's the logo there, guys. Okay, so this is one of the models that is being improved is Ibuki. We don't have that one. I'll go ahead and I'll put up. Well, we don't have that one, Joe. We'll put up
Except
pictures.
the dark in the eyes. On Don.
Just look at Don Chan. Don Chan is going to have improvements. That was a request from Capcom, but this is one of my favorite models in the entire range. Okay, and that's pretty much all the ones that we talked about on the last video. If Joe, you want to go ahead, oops. Hey, some of these models can take a beating. I've been punching them around, but yeah, don't hit your models. Obviously, these are fragile. They are statuesque quality. We've made improvements all across the board to the special effects. The Fire have improvements. Nash has great improvements to his green. So every single model has been iterated and improved, and I cannot wait for you guys to get your hands on all of our hard work. And that's it. Also, I said the terrain. So we got the terrain. We have been test fitting white samples for the terrain, doing some experimentations here and there. So you might not see all of the pieces that we're providing you in the Kickstarter. And some of that is subject to change because I realized the scaling. So let me show you pictures of the terrain that we've assembled. We've got some white samples. That's why I don't, want to really show it off in person. Because it's to test the fits. Now, while we were doing that, we noticed that the scaling is off. Essentially, we had dual ideas. Should they be in scale? Should it not be in scale? And after test fitting them, we've decided that the scaling for the terrain doesn't need to be hyper realistic. I can't have the trees be massive and the carts be huge and then the boom boxes be like where you can't even assemble them. So we've determined that we're going to blow up some of the sizes. They will be out of scale with the miniatures, but they will be better to assemble, easier to assemble.
And move around, and you won't lose them. And
move around and more clear that it's going to do damage to the characters when you knock into it. A more impressive set piece. So we're going to make sure that the scaling on the terrain is good. We've already sent these back to the factory to have them make adjustments on the scaling. And when we get those back, we'll show you in the next update or whenever that comes, which should be the next one. Yeah, guys, so that's it. There's basically all the love and attention that we poured into our miniatures. I can't wait for you guys to get your hands on it and to see it in person because it's way more impressive, than on camera, guys. So thank you so much for watching the super long update video. And 2020 is the year for our Street Fighter game and our upcoming project. And I hope you guys, jump in. If you don't have a copy, just stay tuned to this channel and grab yourself one because this is amazing. And I know you'll enjoy it. Bye, guys. See you on the next Angry Joe Show.